What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Mel Gibson movies. I'm a pretty big fan of Mel Gibson, and over the last few years I've watched most of his movies. I have most of them on DVD, video, and Blu-ray, and everything, so I've been wanting to do a top 10 list of his movies for a while, and I watched the last one of his collection that I have today, so I decided to go ahead and do this video. I will say that he is one of my favorite actors. I don't like him as a person. He's done and said some pretty crappy things and stuff, so I just want to say that I don't think he's a very good person, but he is a really great actor, and this list is only going to be his acting roles. I'm not going to do the ones that he directed that he wasn't in, because of the fact that he wasn't in them, and this is just acting roles, so I may do a ranking of all the movies he directed sometime. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get going. Number 10 is Pocahontas. I really love this movie. It's one that I used to watch all the time as a kid. In fact, it's probably the only movie Mel Gibson was in that I grew up with, well, aside from his cameo in Casper. But I absolutely love this movie. It's just a really, really great Disney movie. It's kind of underrated. I know a lot of people don't like it because historical accuracy, when it's an animated Disney movie, you don't expect them to be historically accurate and stuff. I mean, it just, I don't know why people get so upset when they know that it's not going to be. And they did the best that they could with making it a family-friendly movie and everything. So I think that it turned out good. I don't go to this movie if I want to learn history about Pocahontas and other stuff that went on in that time and everything. I'd go to a more accurate movie or watch a documentary about that time if I want to learn more stuff. But I think it's a really, really great movie. Mel Gibson's voice work in here was really good, along with everybody else. And I actually prefer the 10th anniversary edition, where you get the version of If I Never Knew You, sung by John Smith and Pocahontas, and everything that was cut from the movie because people said it was too boring or whatever. One of the best songs in the movie, which they still have it in the credits, but it's sung by big name singers, or who were big names at least at that time. But yeah, so I absolutely love Pocahontas, and it's number 10. And number 9 is Ransom. This is one that Ron Howard directed, and I absolutely love this movie. It's where Mel Gibson's son gets kidnapped, and the kidnapper is holding a ransom, and if he doesn't get it paid by a certain time, they're going to kill his kid. And there's kind of a conspiracy going on in this, and it's a really, really entertaining movie. It has a really great cast. Aside from Mel Gibson, you got Rene Russo, and Gary Sinise is the villain. Completely steals the show and everything. He's a really great character actor, and he's really great in this movie too. And I just absolutely love Ransom. I think it's really kind of an underrated movie that Mel Gibson starred in and everything, and he gives a really great performance in this movie. So Ransom is number 9, and number 8 is The Beaver. This is one that Jodie Foster directed, and is the movie that really kind of got me interested in Mel Gibson as an actor and everything. I watched this movie for the first time not too long after it first came out on DVD and everything, and I just absolutely loved it. It's a really great movie. With he plays like this drunken man who's down on his luck, really battling depression and stuff, and he kind of starts losing his mind and only uses this beaver puppet as a way of communicating with his friends and family. It's really, really good movie, and he gives a really, really great performance in it. And I honestly think he should have gotten an Oscar nomination for it. And it has a really great supporting cast too. Jodie Foster stars in here alongside him as his wife, and then you got Anton Yelchin as his son, and Jennifer Lawrence is even in here as his son's girlfriend. So it has a really solid cast, and it's a really good movie. So The Beaver is number 8, and if you haven't seen that one, I definitely would recommend it. It's really good independent movie, and everything. And coming in at number 7 is Signs. I remember when this movie came out. It's one of the other few that I did watch as a kid, but I didn't watch it near as much as I did Pocahontas. But when this movie came out, everybody was talking about it, and I saw it, I think, when I was 10 or 11, and I really enjoyed it, but when it first came out, I was disappointed in it because of the hype and everything, but over the last few years when I've rewatched it, I really like it. I think Mel Gibson, once again, gave a really great performance, and this is one of my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies. It's not my most favorite, but it's definitely one of them. It's really entertaining, and has some really great performances from Joaquin Phoenix and Abigail Breslin and Rory Culkin when they were just little kids. They were both really good in here, and M. Night Shyamalan himself has a cool cameo in this movie, and the ending is kind of crazy and everything. It's not like got the best ending, but it's still entertaining movie and everything. I know it gets criticized a lot because of the big twist at the end, but it didn't really bother me as bad as it does most people. But yeah, so Signs is number 7, and number 6 is Bloodfather. This is probably the most recent movie of his that's on this list, but I absolutely love this movie. It kind of came out of nowhere. They were playing it at the movie theater that I used to live by, and I had never heard of it or seen trailers or anything. I just went in completely blind and absolutely loved it. This movie where he is playing this father who has kind of lost his relationship with his daughter, and she suddenly shows up at his trailer, and he's having to protect her from these drug lords that are trying to get revenge on her. And it's just really, really good action thriller and everything. It kind of has a road trip vibe to it too, and it's really entertaining. Easily one of my favorite movies of his in recent years. Probably his best movie since The Patriot or What Women Want, probably. It's just really, really good movie and everything. So Bloodfather is number 6, and number 5 is The Man Without a Face. This is his directorial debut, and one of the few movies that he actually was in that he directed, and I absolutely love this movie. In this movie, he has this friendship with this kid, and he has a mysterious past, and his face is all burned up from a fire that happened a long time ago, and everyone thinks he's like the serial killer, and it's just really, really good movie. And the makeup effects they use on him is really good, and I just really, really like this movie a lot. So The Man Without a Face is number 5, and number 4 is Forever Young. This is another one he did in the 90s. It was really, really good drama movie. He plays this man that gets frozen in time, and I think he gets frozen like in the 30s or 40s, and gets unfrozen in 1992, and he is trying to adjust to his life and everything, and he becomes friends with this boy and his mom and everything, and time starts slowly adding back up into his body and everything, and he's starting to age progressively fast and everything. It's a really, really good movie. It's pretty much like kind of reminds me of the way they did with Captain America, except Captain America doesn't age fast and stuff. I thought it was just a really entertaining movie, really great cast and everything, and Elijah Wood and Jamie Lee Curtis are both great in this movie too, and it's one of his more underrated movies and everything. So Forever Young is number 4, and number 3 is Lethal Weapon 4. I really debated which Lethal Weapon movie to put on here because I love every single one of them and everything, but I thought I'd just go ahead with my most favorite of the 4, because this is one of those rare franchises where I feel like each movie is a little bit better than the next as they go on. not very many franchises are like that. Usually there's always one that's at least a step down, but so far with this franchise, each one of them has been better than the last. The only other franchise I can really say does that is maybe Toy Story, but I absolutely love Lethal Weapon 4. It's such a fun movie, and adding Chris Rock in here as one of the characters was really actually worked really well, and the scenes with him and Joe Pesci have me dying laughing every time I watch this movie. Like, their chemistry and stuff is just really good, and they're hilarious together, and it's just a really fun movie. I think Jet Li was a pretty good villain, and it was pretty fitting into the franchise if it stays the ending. There's a lot of rumors that they're gonna make Lethal Weapon 5. I don't know if it ever will happen. In a way, I kind of hope they do, in a way I kind of hope they don't, because the fourth one was a really great ending, but in a way I kind of would be curious to see what they do with it and how they bring these characters back. So I miss the characters and wouldn't mind seeing them again, but if we get it, awesome. If not, then this was a great ending to this franchise, everything. So Lethal Weapon 4 is number 3, and number 2 is The Patriot. I absolutely love this movie. Part of it is it's one of the rare movies that's actually based on the Revolutionary War, which I think is awesome, because you don't get very many movies about the Revolutionary War, and just a really great action. It has a lot of really great action, a great cast, great performances. Mel Gibson is really great in this movie, and so is Heath Ledger, and especially Jason Isaacs as the villain. He's one of the best movie villains, where he gives such a great performance, it makes you absolutely hate the character and everything, but he does such a great job playing the villain, and really he's the main reason I love this movie. But Mel Gibson is amazing in here too, and it is really one of my favorite movies of his. And so The Patriot is number 2, and my number 1 favorite Mel Gibson movie is Braveheart. This one, like Man Without a Face, he also directed. I think those were the only 2 that he directed that he also starred in. But I absolutely love this movie. Everything about it, the sets, the costumes, the score, the cinematography. It's just such a really great movie, and feels epic and stuff. I know a lot of people loved it when it first came out, and it kind of just, it doesn't get talked about near as much anymore, but I think it's a really, really great, epic movie and everything. I know it's not really historically accurate, but that doesn't really bother me that bad. It's not that big of a deal to me, because the story is well written and the characters are likable, and just really good movie, and easily my favorite movie of his that he starred in and everything. I can't say 100% that it's my favorite one he directed though, but like I said, I'll talk about that on a different list sometime. But yeah, so that's my ranking for the movies that Mel Gibson starred in and everything. So let me know in the comments what your favorite movies of his are, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.